Senator John Yudichak of Luzerne County. Senator, what's being introduced today in the legislature?
We're introducing a bipartisan measure to reform the governing structure of the Board of Trustees at Penn State University.
And what would that entail exactly?
We're going to reduce the size. The size of the board currently at 32 members, 30 voting members, is much larger than any other institution of its comparable size in the rest of the country. All the Big Ten schools, all the major public research institutions are much smaller boards. We'd be reducing that size to 23 with each constituency on the board, whether they're governor appointments, elected by the alumni, elected by the ag societies, or business and industry members of the board. They would all see their constituency reduced, and the governor would be taken off the board, the president of the university would be taken off the board, the row officers and the secretaries of agencies would be taken off the board. This is about getting a governing structure in place so that you have an engaged, efficient, and effective board. We believe through our research and comparing it to the rest of the country in terms of higher education that we got a right number to make sure that Penn State remains one of the best universities in the world.
Was there a particular incident or particular spur that led you to think that a smaller board would be better?
Well, in the aftermath of the Sandusky scandal, it was clear that the board was not making decisions in a prudent way, lunging from one issue to the next. The scandal has cost the university over $170 million. We are over 450 days without naming a new president of the university. That there is clear disconnect with the Board of Trustees, its current majority, and the foundation of the university, its alumni base. So there's a big disconnect between key constituencies and the board. And what we have found in the research that we've done, when you have boards the size of that, once you get over 30 members, it's easy for members to get disengaged. It's easy for a small group to become insular and restrict the flow of information. We need to make sure that we have open, transparent governing at Penn State. We believe this reform measure would do that.
And what sort of support do you have for the bill?
We have great support. As I mentioned, we have support from Senator Jake Corman, the Republican who represents Penn State University, represents Center County. So we have broad bipartisan support. Over 23 senators, Democrat, Republican, have signed on to the bill. We had 7 current members of the Board of Trustees that stood when we had our press conference introducing the bill that supported. So I think we have broad support in the public and in the General Assembly to move this forward because Penn State is such an important part of Pennsylvania. We were partners since 1855. We founded the university. We have funded it to the tune of tens of billions of dollars. And we need to make sure that as a research institution, as an institution of higher education, and as Pennsylvania's land-grant university, that its public mission remains on track and it continues to be an educational and an economic engine for Pennsylvania. And an engaged, effective board will do that. And that could only be achieved if we reduce the size of the board through our introduction of the Penn State Board of Trustees Reorganization Act.